for joining us still or again or more, depending on if you clicked on the full episode or the segment. Dog watching, we're going to be talking about A Cure for Wellness. So, this looks really cool. It has the Green Goblin. So this must be before he got sick and came back to New York.
Yeah.
Became friends with Pete Parker. And then became sane again.
Cure didn't work.
They did not. So what was your overall impressions of the trailers you got to see for it?
It looks interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I was watching it, I didn't know any of the actors or actresses in it. Like, you said that was the Green Goblin in it. Is that the main character?
Yeah, the main character, he played the Green Goblin in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay, see, and that's how much I know about that guy, because I didn't even recognize him. So
yeah.
It looks like it's a bunch of British actors and actresses that I don't know, but the movie, looks a sort of akin like Shutter Island.
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
With Leonardo DiCaprio, and so it looks very interesting, to say the least. That is the least. Yep, that is the least about it. I don't know what else to say. Go on.
I do like the look of it. I think it is interesting to get this now rather than like maybe a couple months ago, because this looks, as far as the performances and the cinematography is concerned, it looks like this could have been a contender for at least like one of the awards for cinematography, know, but it's coming out in February instead, so I don't know what that says about the movie, because January is always really bad movies. I don't know about February, if it's usually...
It's a love story. Somewhere it's going to be a love story.
Right. with the girl with all the slugs in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you bring up Shutter Island, and yeah, it gives me when I saw it, I'm like, is this by the same director? Because it's very much the same. Almost to the fact where I feel like it's going to have the same twist. And spoiler alert, skip forward if you want to. But in Shutter Island, like Leonardo DiCaprio ends up, he's not a detective. They made him think he was a detective so that he could live out his fantasy. Yeah. So that hopefully he could realize he killed his wife and kids or something. So I don't know. It was a very complicated...
Cure his wellness.
But yeah, so I'm almost wondering if it's going to be sort of the same thing, because the trailer starts off, he's in this big, big building, and they're sending him somewhere for some reason.
He's supposed to grab somebody.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was, I don't know who, because it was like, they wrote a letter. Whoever did it wrote a letter, and the guy's like, yeah, he sounds insane, so they go to grab him to get him out of the insane asylum. I don't know.
Yeah. And so then the guy, I guess tries to get out of there after realizing how crazy the place is. Gets in a car wreck. They try to give him the cure, and all of a sudden he starts seeing like really effed up shit. Mm-hmm. Of course I can say shit, but I can't say fuck apparently. And so obviously it makes him think, maybe I'm going crazy. No, I'm not going crazy. Then the one guy's all like, every time I turn my back, you're somewhere you're not supposed to. So he's trying to investigate at the same time they're trying to keep him prisoner, but it's like, we're here to help you. Yeah. Why don't you come over here? So yeah, it definitely seems a little creepy. There's going to be a lot of thriller. So back to my point about Shutter Island, it almost seems like, is this going to be a similar twist where it's like, he was never the business guy going to get the lady. He's just been crazy this entire time.
Yeah.
And so he just fabricated everything to deal with how, screwed up they're treated in that place.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, if they did that way, I hope not, because that just seems like a cheap shot, because it's already been done.
Right. And me personally, when I first saw the trailer for Shutter Island, I figured that twist out.
Oh, just by the trailer.
Just by the trailer, I'm like, yeah, he's not really a detective. And so I get the same vibes, and so I hope, as far as the story goes, it's intriguing enough, because, like, if they try to do that twist again, it's just going to be like, well, yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah, it's like...
I recorded it.
Right. There's videography proof or something. I don't know. But even like in like something like 1408, he's in the hotel and he ends up getting away. But it's like, no. Yeah. You're not away, dude. Yeah. Even at the end of the movie, I don't even know if he ever got away from that. But anyways, so hopefully they come up with a really good twist, and or, you know, they don't end it. Like, my personal pet peeve about certain, let me be very clear about that, certain thriller or horror movies is I hate it when, like, everybody dies at the end. Mm-hmm. Because, like, for me personally, it's like I'm watching these characters, I'm getting engaged in their struggle, I want them to survive. So them dying at the end is like me dying at the end of a level right before I'm about to beat the game. Mm-hmm. You know, it's frustrating, and it's just like, why did I go through all this just to die here? Like, or maybe like a better allegory would be like if like you get to the end of a video game, but you have to buy the DLC to get to the true ending or something like that. So.
ME3?
Right. So, yeah, I hope that doesn't happen either, because it seemed like that could be a pretty easy way to end it too. So hopefully it's just very...
And why is it, by the way, why is it called A Cure for Wellness? I mean, obviously we'll probably figure that out in the movie, but do you have any ideas of why? I mean, usually we want to cure something that is harmful to you, so why is wellness, whatever wellness is, harmful to you?
That's a good point.
Maybe that might be the twist, and the whole thing is you figure out, you know, what is he trying to quote unquote cure with that eyedropper of brown liquid?
Yeah, maybe it's all the Matrix, and and the wellness is the programming telling you that everything's okay in the world. This is the real world, don't worry.
Yeah.
That would be kind of a cool twist. Maybe not the Matrix, you know, but something like that, where the cure for wellness is you're in a state of mind where you think everything is okay, but actually the world is, you know...
Or everybody is insane, they just think that they're not.
Yeah, maybe.
In the whole entire world.
I don't know.
This is the cure, you do it and it opens up, and this is what you're actually living in.
Oh, God, yeah. That would be interesting. So all the messed up things that he's seeing isn't him hallucinating, it's him getting a glimpse into the real world.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting twist, for sure. I mean, and it would explain the wellness like you were trying to get at. So, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I guess we'll see, huh?
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, yeah. I'll rent it. I ain't going to the movie theater for it, but I'll rent it.
I'll get it a good Redbox try. Yeah. Alright, and I mean, that's it for Cure for Wellness. Are you excited to see it? Will you be watching it in theaters or Redboxing it? Let us know in the comments below. Up next, we're going to be talking about the dreaded Shovelware.
Hi, this is Nick from the Deadly Operative Grunts show. Are you or someone you love a nerd? There are many warning signs that you can look out for. Are they really good at math or science? Do they celebrate strange holidays like May the 4th, Winter Eansmas, or Hobbit Day? Do they have heated discussions about the difference between a light year and a parsec? Do they claim to catch invisible creatures by going outside and staring at their phones? Do they often solemnly swear that they're up to no good? Or do they answer every question with the number 42? All these might point to you or your loved one being a nerd. At Repop Gifts, they're here to help. With a wide variety of items and a selection of one-of-a-kind works of art, you won't want to leave. Need to try something on? Then use their wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey changing room. Great for birthdays, holidays, or just to add to your collection. Repop gifts near the corner of 31st and State.
We're back!
Dang it! Yeah, I guess
you were
we
taking
are.
a long time on that one.
Alright, so now on Dog Talk, we're going to be talking about shovelware. Now, there is a couple of different versions of shovelware. One way to describe shovelware would be like the licensed games. So nowadays, a lot of the licensed games are coming like on your mobile phone. And so some company somewhere that has like literally 2 guys working on a video game somehow gets the license to a game, and they just throw something out to throw something out. They just shovel it out. And then another version of shovelware would be a video game just so bad, so ungodly. You know, why did they make this?
Unnecessary.
There you go. Why does this exist? So I mean, like, what do you think about it? What is its what is its blight on the gaming industry?
Well, I like to think of it nowadays as, if you go to, like, say for instance, the PlayStation Store, or what's the Xbox have, the marketplace.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you've already gone through all the movies at Redbox. Let's see, you know, what other movies they may have. And so you start going at the very end of the list. And they have, you know, G-rated movies. Or not G-rated, but G...
You knew it.
What is it? G-type, B...
B-movie.
Well, it's a B movie, but I wouldn't even call it a B movie. It's further down the list. You know what I'm saying?
It's a Z movie.
Yeah. And so when I think of shovelware, I just think of like they just start throwing games at you.
Yeah.
It used to be back in my day that, you know, when you went out to go back in my day, when you went out to go, you know, find a new game, you had 5 or 6 to choose from.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you're going, oh, let me find an action game. And you have this list that's, you know, all the good ones are up on top, 5 or 6 of them. And then you have hundreds of just crap, you know, and you go to your, you know, I want an action adventure, and you have something called Pixel Junkie on it or something like that. It's annoying. It's become, yeah, like the shitty movies of Redbox
right
in there.
Yeah, and I think what makes it bad for the industry is that it's just, it gives games a bad name. You know, like when we're sitting there and we're like I don't know, putting a game like Joe's Diner next to a game like even Slender Man. Slender Man is still kind of a B movie, but at least has purpose. Especially when they redid it for Slender Man: The Arrival. If you actually check out, we have a Let's Play of that where I scream like a little girl. And rightfully so. It is a very scary game. I mean, even though like all it is this guy, white face, he doesn't have any face. He's really tall, skinny, and just like your screen will start to get a little staticky. You'll turn, he'll be like right there. He won't like come at you or anything, but he'll just be right there and you're like, oh shit! Oh! But then putting a game like that next to Joe's Diner. Now, you saw the trailer for it. It is a nothing trailer. It doesn't tell you anything about the game because all it is like flashes of, you know, concept
Black
art.
and white.
Yeah.
Flashes of the diner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't show anything about it. So I actually had to go and look at a Let's Play of it. And so I guess he does say in the trailer, keep the tables clear and keep it quiet. That's all the instructions said. And so I watched the gameplay of it, and that is literally all that you do for the entire game. is you just go around, you clear each table, you make sure nothing turns on, so maybe the jukebox turns on, or a hairdryer in the thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A vacuum. But then the payoff, the quote-unquote payoff, the Slender Man, it flashes a chieftain picture on screen for like a second, and it's like game over. So it's like, it was funny because the Let's Play I happened to watch was this, it was an African-American guy, so it was very boisterous, and it was hilarious, I will admit. But that part came, he's like, oh wait, is that it? And so he actually started getting a little pissed off. Like, what the heck? It was pretty funny.
I spent money on this shit.
Yeah, and it's like, it's $20 freaking $20.
And see, that's the scary part about the whole game, is $20.
That's the scary part. That's the punchline. So that's the jump scare for you. It's like, this was $20? But yeah, literally all you do is you pick up dishes, you put them in the thing, and you keep stuff quiet. That is the premise of the game. But it sets itself up like it's this scary game. The atmosphere is very, creepy. Like, the diner is very run down and dilapidated.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to, clean stuff up. And so just watching even a couple of minutes of this, I was like, okay, fast forward. Okay, what actually happens? And the more I fast forward, it's like more stuff turns on and you have to go turn that off. But that is the freaking game. It's like, oh my god. If there was ever an example of shovelware, it's that.
Mm-hmm.
Another example of shovelware is The Life of Black Tiger.
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think about that, Jim?
Oh, wow. Talk about another... I mean, that one's probably even more snoozy than Joe's Diner, honestly. At least in that one, you could walk around and kill things.
The only excuse I can think of this game existing is that it must have been a mobile game. Because it looks so bad.
And you're on the moon, by the way. You have to be on the moon, but go on.
You're on the moon?
We'll get to that later because of the physics of the game.
Oh!
You have to be on the moon, right?
Oh, God.
Watch the trailer or the gameplay.
Yeah, we'll link that as well because it is just, atrocious.
Yeah.
But, as far as I can tell, you're a Black Tiger and you live. And so this is the life of Black Tiger. And it's just so stupid because, it looks like worse than, I don't know, maybe PS2, but that's probably putting it nicely. It's like PS1.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's like the most boxy characters you've ever seen. And the physics, let's talk about the physics. So you'll have
everything's flying.
One of the shots in particular I love is there's 5 wolves in front of you. You take one swipe, just one, and they all just kind of stiffen up and fly into the air. It was just oh my god. And then there was a fish, and it's just falls down, and he just picks it up in his mouth. It's just flopping around.
There's no gravity.
No.
Well, very, very little gravity, at least.
No gravity. Oh, it's a Black Tiger.
And then, but there is one shining thing throughout the whole video that I saw. Is he falls in love.
He does!
He falls in love with a smaller orange tiger, I guess. A real tiger.
Now who's being racist?
I'd rather watch Black Panther, honestly.
Oh my god, yeah, it's just, and I mean games like that. Then you go into the if you go to PlayStation, go to PSN, or go to the Xbox Live, and if you can sort it by the rating. Mm-hmm. Make it so that it's the lowest rating up at the top, or if you can only have it the other way, then just go to the very, very bottom. And just look at some of the trailers if they have some. That's the thing. Some of them don't even have trailers. It's just like, here's
how bad it is. They don't even want to show it.
Here's the world's worst description anybody could give anything, and you're supposed to make a purchase off of that.
Yeah.
You know? And especially now that, you know, some of those are actually like $9.99, $19.99. Like, what?
They're flooding it. That's how I see. They're just flooding the. You know, it's like, well, I want to make an extra buck.
Right.
So yeah. So
this took me a weekend.
There's nothing revolutionary about these games. I would assume. So.
I mean, the thing that's the worst is just that, like kind of what I was saying before, how it gives games a bad name. When you flood the market, that's not a good thing. You know, having such a plethora of choices, not like you said back in your day, Super Nintendo, they actually only had a certain number of cartridges that they would give to each of the developers. Mm-hmm. So they literally could only make so many games. And that's why there was no such thing as a release date, because it's like they put it out when it was ready. Mm-hmm. You know, whereas you have all these games, and you know, there's even some AAA games that I can call shovelware. Because you have something like Mafia 3 that still has problems today, after patches, after everything. Then you have No Man's Sky, which I played. I do somewhat enjoy it, but that's just because I knew what a shit show I was walking into. So I think that kind of tempered my expectations.
Yeah. And you didn't pay $60 for it. Right?
Exactly. I only paid like $17 for it, and I bought it way after all the controversy. It came out with one of its very first Foundation updates, so that, according to a lot of the No Man's Sky, you know, hardcore people, said that really made the game better. So for me, I was going into it better.
Yeah.
So, but even then, you go from planet to planet, you harvest, you shoot a laser at a rock.
Is there a story to that game, by the way, at all?
Well, yeah, but you kind of have to dig for it.
Do you? Okay.
It's not like you have objectives. It's not like you have... there is a path that you can follow, but once you follow that path, then you just do whatever. So
yeah,
it's not
you're
like
done and it's open. You can go do whatever.
The objective is to get to the center of the galaxy, which almost everybody knows because they've probably been on YouTube for the past year. Everybody
Except
knows...
for me.
Yeah, not you. But when you get to the center of the galaxy, it's the last hyperdrive. You get there, you click on it, and all it does is zoom out. And it's supposed to be like this monumental, like, oh, it's so deep. It means the meaning of life is just perilous. And so it just zooms out, and then you wake up on another fucking island.
It was a dream the entire time?
No. It just starts the game over again. It's not even like it's New Game Plus. It just starts the freaking game over.
So then you just go back to the center, or try to get back to the center, I guess.
No, you just keep getting new resources, upgrading stuff, getting more resources, upgrading stuff.
See, that sounds okay if you could play with other people.
Right! If you could! That sounds like a really good idea for an MMO!
Okay, we're getting off topic though. Well, even though
that's completely on topic.
So, it came out as shovelware, but then it became better. Is that what you saying?
I think it's still shovelware. Because it's really just mindless. It is so mindless. I tried, and obviously I don't have like a really good ship, but I've tried like getting into fights because there's just nothing else to do than explore and harvest. Explore and harvest. That's all. So I've tried getting in fights, but I'd go up and I'd start attacking a freighter. And so then they'd call in their thing and I'd attack them or whatever. Mm-hmm. But the way combat is, it's too hard. And I don't mean that as, oh, this is challenging. Like Dark Souls. Dark Souls is challenging, but if I ever screw up, I know that it's because I did something wrong. Mm-hmm. Because everything is so meticulous. The way the enemies move, the way you move, you dodge, everything. You really have to think about what you're doing in order to really get through it. Mm-hmm. Whereas this, so like if I'm shooting at a thing, it's shooting back at me. My shields go down. I have to go into a different menu to recharge my shields. So they did make it quicker because now you can push like down and then square, and as long as you have the material like iron for it, then it's a little bit quicker, but still I have to do down, square, X, or down, so I still have to basically stop everything. They're still shooting at me, and I'm like, eh.
And it uses a material?
And it uses a material to refill
so
your shields.
You can only do it so many times.
Right, yeah.
What kind of technology is that? It has to use iron, by the way. If it
iron,
is iron.
Yeah.
I guess it's the most common metal.
Imagine yourself like, hold on, you're like rushing through a chest and you're like,
yeah. Let me put some more garbage in this.
like the juicinator on the DeLorean.
Yeah.
Just throwing trash in it. Fusion. Yeah. And I mean, not only that, but then you have other games that come out and they're broken because of online or something. I still count that as shovelware because you're putting out a game, you knew it didn't work. There is no way out of, let's say every company has anywhere from 20 to 50, or if it's like EA where it's a huge, maybe they have 100 testers. You're telling me that that many people, their job is to literally break the game. That is their job. Obviously, they play it and it's like, oh, I get early access. No, your job is to break the game. Your job is to jump on this spot 100 times to make sure that you don't fall through. Yeah. Like you have this big laundry.
Hit every wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have this big laundry list of things that you're just supposed to, go up to this wall, melee this thing 5 times, do this. And you're telling me that out of 100 people doing that, reporting to you every move that they make in the game, you're telling me that you didn't know about this bug? No, I'm sorry. Now, something like Bethesda, like, that is a little bit... Well, I mean, I feel like we give them a pass, but that's just because everything's not necessarily, like, set in stone. It's more random. So, like, you don't know that a mammoth is going to go down a particular hill and fall down because maybe you've literally never seen that mammoth go down that particular hill. So, I mean, there are exceptions to the rules, but then there are other cases where it's a more, maybe a more closed world. It's still like an open world, like maybe GTA or something like that, but it's closed in the sense that everything does have more of an algorithm and stuff like that. And you still have instances where it comes out and it's completely broken and it doesn't work, or you try to get online and God forbid if you don't have the most perfect timing, because that's really, it's just timing and luck that, you didn't try to dial the server at the same time that somebody else tried to dial the server. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. I mean, and I still count that as shovelware because it's like, why put the game out? Why put the game out unfinished?
Well, it's because they want as much money as they can. Yeah.
And I mean,
that's you're right. That's shovelware. It is.
Yeah. And I mean, it's
all money grabbing.
It's bad for the industry to have so many games out there because it's just it's too much. We don't need that much games. Nobody will ever play every single game in a lifetime. Nobody. And not only that, but if you got rid of 50% of the stuff, nobody would notice.
Exactly.
Nobody would go on looking for Durkas and it's not here anymore. I wanted to buy that.
Yeah.
I think the thing that sucks the most at this point in time is that I felt like it was very prevalent on the PC and even more so, way more so on the mobile. But now because of the infrastructure of the PlayStation 4, of the Xbox One, we're actually getting a lot more of them. Like, we had them on the PlayStation 3. You had your PSN games that were just crappy. But now we're just getting flooded. Absolutely flooded.
Yeah, and I see it as the one in the PlayStation 3. They were using those type of games to try to further what we've already established in our gaming culture or what we did. They were trying to push the bar, and they didn't want to do it with heavy graphics and stuff that would slow it down, so they would dial these back, and they would try to make something new that no one's ever seen before.
Right.
And now they're just, it's gotten out of hand. It's like the movie industry has taken over the gaming industry, in my mind. Yeah. It's like, let's just start throwing out crappy stuff as fast as we can.
See what sticks to the wall.
Yeah, see how much money we can get, and if it doesn't work, oh well. We got more crappy games to try to make money off of, so.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, then you have like the licensed games, so that's the other side of the spectrum. So you have like a licensed game, and they make it just to capitalize on a game or a movie that happens to be coming out. Mm-hmm. So they don't care about the characters, they don't care about the story. All they care about is get it out at the same time that the movie comes out. And those are just as bad because games like Batman Arkham Asylum, hopefully the new Spider-Man, it's not tied to a movie. So hopefully that'll make it better. Even the Transformer games that weren't tied to a movie, like the War on Cybertron or the Fall of Cybertron, something like that, those didn't attach themselves. They made references to the TV shows, obviously. They were attached to movies, so to speak, but they existed on their own, and therefore they could flourish. Whereas when you have a licensed game and it has to adhere to, certain things, like there's a new Godfather mobile game, and it's pretty much just like any kind of Farmville where you just put up a building, you get money from it. Put up a armory over here, you get guns from it. It's just, but it's Godfather. Who out there was going, we need a mobile Godfather game. I cannot wait to play a mobile Godfather game. Yeah. And somebody saw that and they were like, oh my God, they finally answered my prayers. It's like, no, they made that, they put Godfather on the title because they knew somebody out there would be like, oh my God, Godfather 2 is my favorite movie of all time. This must be good.
Yeah, let's buy the game. Yeah.
And they get that one person, and just because they're nostalgic about that one movie, they're like, okay, well, here's some microtransactions if you want this to go a little bit smoother.
Yeah. It's like they're taking a page in a way, or some of them are taking a page because if you remember right, Mario Brothers 2 and on the NES wasn't originally a Mario Brothers game. They bought the rights of whatever game it was supposed to be, and then just inputted Mario characters into it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it's so different compared to all the other ones. And it still made a shit ton of freaking money back then.
Right.
Probably not as much as the other ones do, and that's where it's like, that's probably how they're doing it now. A game will come out and has absolutely nothing to do with, say, for instance, Godfather. And they'll just slap the Godfather tag on it, put in a couple little references to Godfather, and then see how much money they can get out of it.
Right. And I mean, there's this one game that came out, it was like an isometric, 360 shooter, and originally the character was supposed to be Duke Nukem. But since they couldn't get the rights to Duke Nukem, they just switched it to a girl, but she's still, very masculine and let's go kill stuff! And it's like, okay. So it's really weird.
What does he say? I'm the queen, baby?
I'm the queen. Suck my clitoris.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I have to be sexist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. So anyways, I mean, that's what we think about the shovelware. What was the worst purchase you ever accidentally made? I think mine was, I don't know, can you think of one while I think, or?
I can think of the most recent one.
Okay, what's the most recent one? Technomancer, okay.
Yeah. I was really looking forward to it because I'm an RPG fan, so I was really looking forward to it. It looked like it had, some potential to it. Supposedly open world on Mars. It just turned out to be a load of crap. I mean, I was like, come on, even the combat system, could that even be good? No, the combat system's really slow. It just turned out, I was sad. I spent money on this. I was sad. I wanted to rip the game out of my console if I could.
Right.
Get rid of it.
So, I mean, on that matter, the most recent one for me would have to be How to Survive 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play it, but more out of an obligation because I spent $14 on it. And there are, I guess, certain aspects, as long as you just kind of, like right now I'm just kind of brain dead playing it. I just want to see, does it get good? Because I know there's supposed to be raids in it. Are the raids going to make it better? So really I'm just playing it to, wait for the next big game, which is Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, that's really the only reason I'm playing it. Otherwise, I completely stand by my burn. I want to burn it. It's just so bad. To put the How to Survive name on it is just an insult, because the How to Survive was a good game.
Yeah.
And this is just, it has certain things that are the same, but they just went in a different direction. I don't really like it. Another one for me would have to be 7 Days to Die.
Oh yeah, I played that with you.
Yeah.
I tried.
Oh my god, so bad. And what made it so bad is that it had already been out, kind of like How to Survive. It had already been out for like 3 years on the PC, so you think they would fix their stuff before they put out a disc that you had to buy.
Yeah.
But what made it the most frustrating thing about it wasn't like the gameplay. The gameplay was fine. It was like Minecraft where you had to cut down a tree, and that was fine. But like every minute or every minute and a half, it would stop for a full second and then keep going. So like, let's say I'm chopping wood, chop, 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 chop. Another minute would go by.
Lag.
Another minute would go by. I'm like trying to hit a zombie. I'd be like, and I'm like, what the hell? This is, and it's like maybe top PlayStation 2 graphics, bottom PlayStation 3 graphics. Not that complex. The only thing complex about it is how big it is and the fact that you can pretty much dig into the earth. That's the only thing that's complicated about it. So there's going to be a lot of algorithms and shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason. But I still think this could have been on the PlayStation 3. I mean, they have Minecraft on there. This is pretty much just Minecraft, only instead of blocky graphics, it's slightly realistic graphics. But even then, it's like, why did it take just...
When I played it with you, I had the problem of where the map would just, I'd be walking, and then all of a sudden the map would turn gray, and I'm not on land anymore.
No, right, I remember
and I'm
that.
How do I get out of this? I can't get back onto land. I can't cross the gray zone.
Yeah. So, I mean, back to you guys. What is your game that you accidentally bought and it ended up being just like one of the worst games you ever played and you regret it? Let us know in the comments below. That's the Deadly Operative Grunts show for you today. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Deadly Operative Grunts, or on Twitter at Deadly Op Grunts. Make sure to share this with everybody. Let's get the word out there that you got a good Idaho group out there fighting the good fight. So thank you for watching today. This is the Deadly Operative Grunts, and we're feeling squirrely.
Triple threat.